So in the world of Fender, in particular the Fender Custom Shop, there's this thing called the Master Builders. It's this rare, lofty, the peak of the mountain of custom instruments of Fender for sure, but it's pretty much, it's the top of the tops. So we want to talk about what happens when one of these Master Builders leaves and the ramifications of that throughout not just Fender, not just casino guitars, not just like, you know, the people waiting for these guitars, but like the whole sort of like industry as a whole. Kind of just get into that, you know, just give you a sort of glimpse of what happens behind the scenes a bit and how all of us try to come together to heal the wounds and make things move forward properly. Okay, so let's get into what first is a Fender Custom Shop. It's a high-end custom built instrument just for you. Now a Masterbuilt is extremely high-end, extremely custom just for you one more time. And this is where you have selected, let's talk about how we do it at Casino. You and I and all of us, the team here, we've selected a builder that's gonna fit the needs of what you want, or you came in with somebody that you really wanted to have do it. But a lot of times you don't really know. Like, you know, is a person coming in like, you know, I know I want to get a really custom guitar done. I want it to be just for me. These are the specs I want. I don't know who I want to build it yet. Will you help me with that? We love doing that. We'll find the builder that sort of fits. We here at Casino Guitars obviously have some of our favorites that we like working with. We like the communication between us and the person buying the guitar and then the Master Builder. It's awesome. But sometimes after all this is perfect stuff set up and done, the worst happens. The Master Builder either retires, he just leaves, disappears, he gets fired, he maybe leaves and it looks like he wasn't fired. There's all sorts of strange things that can happen in this thing, and it's our job and Fender's job to make this right and to fix it. So first steps, let's say you have a guitar, you've been on order with, you've been on order for like a year or 2 years, and it's about time for you to come up. Then you get an uncomfortable phone call from yours truly, Baxter, letting you know this Master Builder that we've been waiting for has flown the coop and is going elsewhere. I'll talk about which Master Builders have done this in the past few years too, because it's been 4. But how do we handle that? How do we broach it? Well, we've committed to build a guitar with Fender. They're excited to do it. You've committed to build a guitar too. We're gonna get you that guitar built. So the first step is we're gonna try to find another Master Builder that's gonna be able to build within the specs and ramifications and the temperament of what you like and what we like and the rhythm of what we like as well. And we're gonna try to place that. And so there's gonna be communications not just between the person who is getting the guitar and Fender, but also those Master Builders too. There's gonna be some behind the scenes talks where we're gonna have to talk to them, try to figure out what their queue, what their lead time is, if they're the right match for it. Obviously that matters the most important, but like, how long is this gonna take now? Are we gonna get expedited treatment to get that because of the disaster that's happened within there? It is a very personal business. These are all people we know and love, and you buying this guitar, same thing, very personal, know and love. So we're trying to figure that out and get that sorted. Usually it's pretty easy. Now in the case of some of like the builders that you might have been sort of pining for, like a Vincent Van Treat, or a Carlos Lopez, or a John Cruz, or Ron Thorn, you might have very specific reasons for going to them and you really want those guys to build it. So it's tougher. We gotta really figure out who we can switch to. Now what happens within the custom shop, they'll have a group of builders that is sort of open to, that don't have as long of a lead time perhaps, and they can maybe get you into there a lot easier. That's not always the best path. We might have to find a certain builder that's gonna fit the sort of style of what you were working with, and that's where the lead team at Fender is awesome with helping with. They really wanna make it right. They know it's not the best situation that happened. Everyone's bummed out. When we lost what, Vincent last year. We lost, I think, Ron the year before that. I can't even remember the timeline of when John and Carlos, I think John was let go before Carlos. I think that was the pattern of that whole rollout back in. Yeah, it was that, definitely. And then Carlos Lopez left too and started Casadosa. Ron Thorn is at Thorn Guitars. Vincent is traveling and gallivanting the world doing his thing, and John he's been with Ionic, I think, or Ionic, I can't remember, Iconic Guitars right now, but he's got John Cruz Customs and John Cruz Guitars, so they've done their own things. But back to what we do, we're gonna get you sorted. So it's tricky, because we have to manage their schedule too, and they might, let's say, your builder leaves, and you wanna get in this other builder, well, this builder might have a 6-year wait list. You've already been waiting for 3 years. So now we're back to square one. So we have to somehow negotiate and figure a way to, and hopefully that builder understands a little bit, and there's no ego involved. Like, well, he didn't want me at first, I'm going to put him at the back of my queue. That's our job to negotiate that. And just being human and like being understanding too. Like, we understand you're really wanting your guitar as soon as possible. Fender gets that too for the most part, I think, but they're so busy. Who knows? I hope they do. But the builders definitely do. And almost all the builders there, the master builders, there's not that many of them. They want to get you that guitar as quickly as possible. But they're also building every guitar by hand, slowly. So it's going to take a little time regardless. Because here's the thing, is even when you get your guitar, and not your guitar, but when you get it, like you've got it ordered with us, you've gotten the thing ready, and you've actually talked to the master builder, it still might be 3 to 6 months before your guitar is done. So once the communication starts, it's not over tomorrow. You're not getting a guitar built in a week. It's going to be a long process, but it's a cool process because you're going to have multiple conversations. God, speak of that, one of our guitars just shipped, coming to us. That was a Vincent order that one of our fearless friends over there at Levi Perry took over, with parts that Vincent had built. And parts that Levi has built and finished, I think, too. And it's come together, and that guitar is en route to Casino right now. I'm very excited to see this very soon. And I think this young man's been waiting for this guitar for years. Will be very excited to see this too, because he was devastated. I was devastated. And I've had to make, in the course of I don't know how many years that's been since, but it's been like since 2020, I think, is when like that's when we started losing a few of them in that little range. I've had to make a lot of phone calls, and that's just for customer orders. Now let's talk about what Fender has to do from within. It's tricky. So like we sort of mentioned it, but they have to navigate all the other builders' schedules and figure out where they're going to place these guitars, because they're all really busy. They all, everybody has at least a year wait. So all of a sudden, like, you might have these put on you. It's exciting too. Like, they want to build these guitars, but they got to figure out how to get that within the timeline of what's existing and not pushing you back there as well. It's a balancing act, to say the least. So it's conversations between us, Fender sales, Fender corporate, master builders, everyone out there, and it's very heartfelt too. Like, I feel it. Some of these builders, they're not just people we work with, like, they become real friends. Like, I don't know how many times myself, Sean, Derek, the gang has had like beer with Carlos and his family, put our feet in the pool. All the conversations I've had with John Cruz, all the fun too, all the time, and like the BS that I've had with Vincent about the guitars he's built. I remember when I first met that son of a gun, and he was an apprentice builder still, and he showed a few pieces at one of the dealer events. I saw of his works, and I bought everything I could. It's like, this guy's going to be special. And that was Vince Van Treat, and I loved every one of those guitars, and sold them all. I wish I had them all. Got one left I kept. But it's it's special, and then you develop a relationship, and it's tricky. So, but it's wonderful. But it's a navigation process as their lives progress. Something terrible happens at corporate. Something terrible happens on the internet, and they give up. Or it's just time for them to move on and create their own story, as in with Castadosa, and sort of seeing where that's launched. So the process, it's messy. It's lots of pieces being plugged in. It's complicated, but we've been able to navigate this pretty well so far. And it even affects not just guitars we're building for you, but we're building a lot of guitars for the shop to sell. That's insane. Like, so I might have 30 pieces skewed for one of these builders, and when that builder leaves or is asked to leave, it leaves a big hole in a vacuum. Well, we have to figure out what we're doing with that too and who that's going to go to. You can sort of see that there's certain directions we tend to like lean into with some of the builders we love, but it's a juggling act, and I say I'm proud of that. We handle it really well in a tough time sometimes. Tough time, we're talking about building awesome guitars, but there's that disappointment when it happens sometimes for all of us. The good news is Fender's built in a system. We built in pretty good ability to find ways to plug in with not just a builder, but the best builder we can possibly find to match that build. And sometimes it works out even better. We've had this happen, I can count about 5 times off of memory right now, just thinking, where when the builder left, the guitar that we pivoted to became a much better guitar than I think it would have been. And it's been cool to see that happen. I have a few that are going to be coming that way too, which I'm pretty excited about. So stay tuned. I can't wait to see those, and I hope you see them too. They'll probably be in a demo or something if they let me play them. But I think that kind of covers it. So just knowing, like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes there. Fender's pulling their hair out. We're pulling our hair out. You're pulling your hair out. But we all work together to try to make the best guitar, the best experience, and it's turn some lemonade out of some lemons here when we can do it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for letting me talk to you about this. If you want to do one of these awesome guitars, we'd love to help you, and we can make it happen. Extreme Guitars, Baxter, signing out. Take care.